Let's layer on our neutral spine, Transversus Abdominis, Diaphragmatic Breathing, Pelvic Floor. So this is will take a little bit of brain power, and the more you've practiced all the other things and the more natural they've become, you'll be able to layer on one thing to the next. If you liken it to when you were driving a car, when you first sat in, you had to think about everything, and now you're probably at the point where you get somewhere and you think, God, I hope I didn't go through any red lights. You don't even remember. It's become so natural to you, but you would have layered on things. So in the same way, if you're struggling or you haven't quite grasped one of these 4 areas, go back and practice that until it becomes much more natural for you. As a guide, it takes about 2 weeks for our brain to really get around something and build that coordination, and to be able to say to yourself, I'm going to lift my pelvic floor, and your brain to be like, got it. So give yourself a couple weeks of practicing each thing before you try and layer everything together. So assuming that if I said to you, lift your pelvic floor, you said, yep, got it. And I said, turn your transversus abdominis on, and you go, take your time, be like, yep, I've got it. Diaphragmatic breathing, yep, I've got it. Neutral spine, yep, I've got it. We've got them all separately. Let's put them together. So we're going to start with the neutral spine. You have to find that first, and just maintaining that position from now on. Let's take an inhale and draw that diaphragm down, so focus on the air going into the lower lungs and the back of the lungs. And then as we exhale, we're gently drawing that tummy in and the spine to the tummy, so feeling that contraction. And then we'll inhale and the diaphragm comes down, so air into the bottom of the lungs. And then we exhale, let's draw in the tummy and lift the pelvic floor, gather and lift. And inhale, draw the air in. Exhale, tummy goes on, lift the pelvic floor. Inhale, air into the bottom of the lungs. Exhale, tummy in, pelvic floor lifted. Continue on, and with your inhales, let's think about creating that space between the ribs and the pelvis, elongating to the ceiling, not flaring the ribs, not keeping too anchored so we're not tight through the tummy, but we're elongating through the spine, the front of the spine. And take 2 more. And take a little break. So no matter how much you've practiced, doing this in a really quiet spot where you can use your mind's eye is really important.